We had initial low expectations about Portland, UK. Wasn't this just a jumping-off point for excursions like Stonehenge? Oh, no. Come along as we delve into our first European port of call and why we fell in love with it. Let's have some fun. I'm Troy, and this is the Port Lowdown. But first, the basics. Portland, UK sits 68 miles southwest of Southampton, making it the first, or last, port of call for a British Isles cruise. The port itself is a commercial dock area. The terminal area, for all intents and purposes, is an open lot with a few buildings, an open-air kiosk with friendly, helpful volunteers and guide maps. There's also a small one-room building with free Wi-Fi, seating, and access to taxis. Nice call box. You can't walk out of the port area. If you're not on a tour or opt for a taxi or private tour, you'll use the free shuttle buses that run all day. Way to go, Portland. Good morning. The shuttle buses all take the same route out of the dock area, stopping at Portland Castle, then Weymouth, before circling back. The Portland Castle stop is exactly here, and the Weymouth stop here. Bear in mind, there's often crowds trying to get back on the bus towards the end of the day, but there are many buses running, so it doesn't really take long. What we expected, and got. A beautiful, small, seaside resort town in Weymouth. Weymouth has been a beachside getaway for royalty since the 18th century. While we saw some history, what we noticed most was old-fashioned English beachside loveliness, a place to stroll the Esplanade Beach Walk with old-school carnival rides and buy ice cream. We noticed this children's carousel right next to a casino. Something for everybody. Also wander along the quaint shops and cool restaurants. At the Cornish Bakehouse, we got a big pasty, a meat pie. It's kind of like a giant empanada.
And that's my hand. And this is the medium size. Freshly baked, very crunchy. I was expecting a bit thicker dough, but it's not. It's actually pretty thin. Yummy.
By the way, too bad I didn't need a haircut. I would have loved to have said I got my hair cut here. Roads and sidewalks are even cobblestone, with some low rises for sidewalks that can be easy to trip over. Just be aware. It was the classic English experience that we read about, plus some added things. Public access defibrillator? Yes, please. What we didn't expect, and loved. First, the Castletown D Day Centre. This museum, just a short walking distance from the Portland Castle shuttle stop, is small but quite amazing really. Portland and Castletown, along with Weymouth, saw many servicemen before they left for France on D-Day, June 6, 1944. This entire area was a staging ground for the invasion, and this center details Castletown's part. While this museum is on many lists of things to do, we were surprised at just how interactive and detailed it actually was. Now, this was interactive in the real-world sense. You can jump into jeeps and tanks. You can work the guns. You can try on the uniforms and pack the gear and feel the heft. Heave up artillery shells and crank the air raid siren. All authentic and almost all available to climb on or handle. A few items in the collection were used in movies, such as Saving Private Ryan. Knowledgeable and friendly docents are on hand to guide you. Be sure to check out the upper tea room with newspapers from the era and a replica of a German pillbox along Omaha Beach. This is often cited as only worthy of an hour. We respectfully recommend another hour. It's dense with detailed information and things to do. Especially if you have kids, they will love it. And yes, they can handle the guns too. It's also volunteer run, a labor of love. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, hit us up with a like and consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to us. Thank you. Second, the Weymouth Land Train. While Weymouth is flat and walkable, it still helps to have a tour solution if, for whatever reason, you don't want to walk far. This train takes you on a loop route around most of the main sites in town for a reasonable price. The main meeting point is here. My parents loved it. It also alights in an area with cool restaurants and music. And the final surprise, the hospitality of the locals. The brightest spot of Portland over everything else was the open and friendly spirit of everyone we met. The port volunteers were sweet. I can't get it from here because you can't leave, so I'm thinking, oh goodness, we have to go to Castletown.
No. Well, yes, in fact, because it's a commercial port, you can't walk off the port. So it's not like Liverpool and all of those, you know.
The bus driver's chatty and informative.
Once you go off the vehicle and I turn around, there's a tall chimney stack, you go down through there and you'll end up in a nice little harbour and then down on into the town. There are plenty of shops and cafes, and there is even a few establishments that serve alcoholic refreshments.
We felt incredibly welcome. Portland and especially Weymouth have seen tourists for hundreds of years, but this somehow doesn't make the town jaded or tourist trappy. Instead, it was genuinely friendly and authentic. And we've never been serenaded out of port by such talented singers before.
It is rounded at last. Roll down. Those poor simple transports will not for the past. Walk around.
We're glad we stopped here first. Now, we hope to come again. There's so much to explore close by that we didn't get to. The Portland Castle, Portland Bill Lighthouse, and Chesil Beach. We're keeping our fingers crossed for another trip to this wonderful place. If you need a little more help with this port, check out our Stonehenge versus Athelhampton House video, where we compare these two popular ship tours from this port. See you there.